It's funny. Sometimes the biggest secrets, the most profound ideas, are just hiding in plain sight. They're tucked away in a single line of some ancient text, just waiting for someone to look a little closer. Today, we're going to do just that. We're diving into one powerful verse, a song really, from the book of Revelation, to unlock a meaning that, I think, might just change how you see a whole lot of things.
So here it is, Revelation 15, verse 4, and you can just feel it, can't you? It reads like this majestic anthem. You can almost hear the choir, feel that sense of awe. It paints this incredible picture of all nations, everyone coming together to worship. It's beautiful, until you get to that very last line. That's where things get a little complicated.
For thy judgments are made manifest. Right away, for a lot of us, that word judgments just hits different. It brings up images of, wrath and punishment, maybe a bit of fear. It seems to strike a totally different chord from the rest of the song. So, what is actually going on here? Is this a song about glorious worship, or is it a warning about some future condemnation?
To figure this out, we've got to go back to the source. And that means for the next few minutes, we're going to have to become linguistic detectives. We're going to look at the original Greek text, because the clues to solving this mystery, well, they aren't just in the words themselves, but in the very grammar they were built on. Okay, first clue, it's right there at the start of the song, Who Shall Not Fear Thee? Now, in the original Greek, this phrase is tis oume. And get this, it's not really a question. It's what's called an emphatic double negative, which is one of the strongest ways you can possibly state a certainty in Greek. The real vibe is something like, is there anyone who could possibly not fear you? It's not a question coming from doubt. It's a declaration of an absolute, undeniable fact.
The next clue builds right on top of that. The song says God is holy. The Greek word here is hosios, and it's a very specific kind of holy. This isn't just about being set apart or powerful. No, hosios describes a holiness that's all about righteousness, goodness, a perfect moral character. This is the quality that actually draws all nations in. It's like a magnetic righteousness, not some terrifying, overwhelming power.
All right, so we've set the stage. The song kicks off with this super confident, absolute declaration about God's attractive righteousness. And now we finally arrive at that last line, the one that seems so out of place. This is the clue that cracks the whole case wide open.
In the Greek, the line is hori tal dikiomatasou ephanerothesan. Basically, for your righteous judgments have been made manifest. And the key to unlocking this whole thing is hiding inside that very last word. So here it is. The whole ball game is right here. The word is ephanerothesan. Now, grammatically, it's what they call an aorist passive indicative verb. But forget all the jargon. What it means is what's so critical. It describes a completed action that happened in the past. It does not mean will be revealed or are being revealed. It means they have already been revealed. It's a finished event, a done deal.
And that one little fact completely changes the question we should be asking. If this song is celebrating judgments that are already finished, that have already been made manifest, then what in the world are they? And when, exactly, were they put on display for everyone to see?
And here it is. This is the answer that changes everything. The judgments, or you could even say the righteous acts of God in this song, they aren't pointing to some scary, far-off day of wrath, no. They're pointing to the single definitive judgment that was made manifest, revealed, and totally completed in the work of Jesus on the cross. The cross is the manifestation.
So what specifically got judged? Well, three huge things. First off, sin itself was judged and condemned in the flesh of Jesus. Done. Second, the authority of the ruler of this world was definitively judged and broken. Over. And third, all the righteous demands of the law, the ones humanity could never meet, were judged as completely satisfied, finished, and nailed to that cross. These are the judgments that have been revealed.
Let's just be crystal clear about this. To see Jesus, to understand what he did on the cross, is to see God's righteous judgments made manifest. They're not two separate things. They are the very same event. The cross is where God's perfect justice and his incredible love were put on display for all to see in one single finished act.
So, let's just compare where we started to where we are now. The common way to read this is as a song of fear, bracing yourself for some terrifying future day of judgment. But when you look closer at the text, the deeper meaning just explodes out. This is a song of celebration. It's about a past, completed, victorious judgment that reveals God's beautiful righteousness. And that is the very reason all nations will come to worship him.
So let's read it one more time with this new lens. Who shall certainly not stand in awe of you, O Lord, and glorify your name? For you alone are righteous. For all nations will come and worship before you, because your righteous acts have already been revealed. See, it's not a song of fear at all. It's a song of victory.
It really just goes to show you, doesn't it, how a single word, even just its tense, can totally transform a passage, turning what looks like a message of fear into one of incredible hope. It really makes you wonder, what other secrets are just waiting there in these ancient texts, ready to be unlocked, if we just take the time to look a little bit closer?